Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. This is the home of the 5-minute or less video. You're not going to see me in a suit or tie and books. Everything is right in here. Over 50 years. I just shoot at home making the YouTubes to give you the information you need. If you want to see me in a suit or tie, or you want to see what I look like in the news, CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, you can go to my website at 777irs.com, and you can go ahead and see me and my team, and you can get a hold of us in the contact section. I do these YouTubes for 3 reasons: to educate you, to give you insider information from an IRS, and really so you don't get mistreated by other people, but mostly so you don't get ripped off by these other companies promising a lot of things. All this tax relief and this. Most of the people, by the way, you're talking to are salespeople. You should know that. They read from a script, they talk to you, and they know how to get in your back pocket. Today I want to talk to you about what happens if you can't pay your back taxes. What happens in that situation? As a revenue officer, I went out on many cases, and I knocked on doors, and people can't pay their money. They're just unable to pay their tax debt. IRS has a provision called the currently non-collectible or hardship program that many people, 40% of all taxpayers that call IRS actually are put in hardship. So don't feel bad. Many people just go through ups and downs, and you're in a down season and you can't pay your tax debt. So don't beat yourself up on it. So what are you going to do? How do you know you're in hardship? So I guess the first question we should say is, what is a hardship? Well, IRS determines a hardship by looking at your financial statement, your 433F. At the service center, they use a 433F. The revenue officer will use a 433A. They're going to gather that form, and they're going to look at 2 basic things: your assets, and I like that, and then they're going to look at your necessary living, your living expenses. Now you should know this: living expenses and what IRS allows and what you're living on are 2 different things. The big aha for you today is going to be that IRS has national standards that they apply of expenses that you must live by if you want a hardship. You can find those national standards by putting in your toolbar IRS national standards for, boom, food and clothing, IRS national standards for housing and utilities. You'll populate a state and then a county. IRS national standards for car payments, IRS national standards for car operation. IRS is going to lock you into those to make sure you're living within the means that the Department of Labor says your means are in that particular county. And IRS grants these hardships pretty regularly, and it's usually pretty common and easy. If you got a small case, just go ahead and call IRS yourself. If you have a more complicated case and it's going to require a lot more work and you're not really sure, you shouldn't do this on your own. Small cases you can. As a former agent, hell, do that yourself. But on a more complicated case and you owe more money, you should have somebody involved in your representation. There's a lot of twists and turns that IRS can do. Usually if we get a case, we look at the financial statement. We may have to tweak it a bit to make sure you're in the best category that you possibly can be in. So anyway, once again, if you're in a hardship, IRS is going to look at the 433AF. They're going to want it documented. They're going to want to look at your pay stubs. They're going to look at your bank account and a copy of expenses to make sure you truly are living in a hardship. If you are, remember, IRS keeps those cases there for a couple years. They will go ahead and take your refund on a refund offset. You can adjust your refund by your W-2 so they don't get your refund. And know the case will come out in 2-3 years, and IRS will reevaluate that case. So they'll re-look at it again. Penalties and interest do run on that liability, and make sure all your tax returns are filed and you're up to date on your estimate payments. Anyway, if you need representation, we're the firm you may want to use. See us in the description section. You want me to do a YouTube, just leave me a comment. Most of my YouTubes really come from you. Anyway, this subscription is big to me, so if you leave it, I'd appreciate it. The next YouTube may come from you. Thank you very much.